Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. So, you want to play General Contractor, DIY version, huh? Well, let me tell you, it's not exactly as easy as it shows on TV. It's not as easy as it seems, I promise you. Before we get started on this one, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. If you like the video at the end of this, hit the like button. That's the thumbs up. It goes blue when you click it. That really helps me out. It spreads the love. Share this video if you can. That helps most of all. All of that helps me grow this channel. Without the support of you guys doing those things, it doesn't grow. Drop your comments below. Any questions you have, leave them there as well. You can also follow me on Instagram at Shane Bailey Builder, right there. Check that out. You can DM me questions as well and check out the content I have on Instagram. There's lots of good stuff related to the things on this channel: real estate, home building, entrepreneurship. Let's get started. All right, so things you need to know in order to play General Contractor as a homeowner. So this video is going to be directed specifically towards the homeowner that is looking to pull permits and do their own project, albeit an addition, build a deck, remodel the kitchen, anything that you are allowed to do per your building municipality, per the building department itself in your area. If you don't want to hire a general contractor, again, I advise against it if you have very little experience, or even if you do have experience. Just because you can use tools doesn't mean you know how to be a general contractor. And I want to spin that real quick and make you guys understand, because as homeowners, it's not your fault, but you think if I'm not at your house literally every day wearing a tool belt and working, then I'm not doing anything. Trust me, that's not how it works at your job. Management doesn't come sit down and do your reports for you or whatever it is that you do. The people above you don't do your job for you. That's why I have guys that work for me that do specific trades and duties: electricians, HVAC technicians and contractors, roofers, plumbers. All of these people also are required to be licensed in most areas, just like a general contractor, because they work underneath me. All right, but I digress. Keep that in mind. You acting as general contractor, there's a few things you're going to need to know. And starting with number one, make sure you can pull a homeowner's permit for the work that you want to do. Again, your local municipality and your building department may allow you to pull permits as a homeowner for certain work, specific work, but they may not allow you to do things you want to do, for example, building an addition on your home, finishing your basement, building a deck. You got to check with your building department to see what they will and will not allow you to do as a homeowner pulling permits. Okay, so that is really easy. You just go to the building department in your area. Make sure you have the right one, because it can get really confusing. Just because your address says, Hokey Spoke, USA, doesn't mean that actual city is the one that the building department is in. You got to go by where the building department is, and that's really easy to do. Just look up your city. It'll tell you, okay? There's a thing called the internet. It's pretty simple. All right, but once you're in there, make sure you call them and ask them these questions. All right, so let's get started with the first thing, which is figuring out what you can and can't do as far as pulling a permit as a homeowner. Okay, so here is a specific municipality in my area that I am going to look up and see what can I and cannot do as a homeowner as far as permitting goes. Okay, application process. This is step one. Again, these websites will explain most of your questions. They'll provide contact information. I always tell you just to call them, because the email, if you send it, gets lost in translation. It gets lost in their ethers of wherever it goes. You're not going to get a response very quickly unless you're in a really small town. So keep that in mind. Always just go find the phone number at the bottom of this page right there and just call them first, okay? But make sure you have information in front of you before you call, okay? So it tells you step one, permit application. You want to download that. Well, what does that look like? There it is, okay? For this specific city, this is their building permit application. It has all of the things you need to fill out, all the way down to the project category, detailed description of the project. You have to give a valuation, and we'll get to that in a second as to why. square foot, and so forth, okay? So this has to be filled out and submitted, again, with the next step, which is a full construction set of plans, okay? So going through this, it'll tell you what you're going to need as far as required documents to submit in order to get a permit for your work. And at the same time, it's going to tell you, will you be allowed as a homeowner to pull this permit? If for some reason you're going through here and you're looking for that information and it doesn't tell you if you can pull it or not, if it doesn't, and I'm showing you right here it does, call them, okay? So let's go real quick and show homeowner's contractor, okay? Regulations. So on this one, for the city of Lafayette, where I am located, I work everywhere, but this is where I'm located. As a homeowner, you may obtain a building permit to work on your property without a contractor's license unless the property is a rental property. It has to be your primary residence. In this case, most cases it is. If the property is not your primary residence, then you cannot pull a homeowner's permit. There it is. It tells you right there. That's the specific guidelines to pull one. Okay. For homeowners that employ subcontractors for all or part of the work, all contractors must be licensed by the city of Lafayette to perform such work. That means any of your trade subs, if they're required to be licensed per the state and per the county, and you're hiring them to do some of the work, they have to be licensed because they're going to ask for those licenses to be submitted for permit. A building permit will not be issued to a homeowner for work performed by unlicensed contractors. That's meaning if you are acting as a general contractor and you hire licensed subs, okay? Keep that in mind. So there you go. That would answer that question there. If for some reason it doesn't, again, call them. Ask them what you can and can't do, okay? Otherwise, all of your stipulations are in here. Size of the plans required, project requirements for specific projects, okay? Reviews of certain things you may be required to have reviews on. Timelines, and again, don't take this too seriously. These timelines in here could be way skewed right now. So what do? What do I keep telling you guys to do? Call. Call first. Don't email. Trust me. Okay, so you're going to get that outlined as to what's required, okay? And I'm going to go through that really simply here in a second. And then you have all this information. Anything else, you call them, you get through it. Okay, I showed you what the application looks like. You got to fill that out. Detailed description, and I mentioned right in here, project valuation. All right, why is it project valuation important? Why do they need to know how much it's going to cost, how much you're going to pay to do this? That's including all materials and all labor, if you hire any labor out, that you're going to get paid or you're going to pay out on this project, okay? It's an estimation, just like me as a general contractor, I have to make an estimate before the project starts, not only to the homeowner, but then the building department needs to know that too. And that is because they build their permit fees into a valuation formula to determine how much the permit should cost. i.e., if this project is going to cost $100,000, there's a formula that will determine per that $100,000 what the permit will cost. And that's a formula. Again, you'll find that on their website in their building department. It'll show you how it's calculated, and then you can move forward. If it's not in there, again, what do? You call. Okay. I know I'm hammering that at home, but it's really, really important. All right, so project valuation is important. In this specific case, the city of Lafayette, it's a full valuation, a minus the electrical valuation, because it's just the way they run their inspections. They have to have it separated. So the valuation of this project without electrical in there, and then I put an electrical valuation there separately, total square foot, okay? You're going to have a valuation of some sort on some level with your building department, and that's because they have to determine how much they're going to charge you for the permit, okay? That's how they make their money. All right. So that's step one. Now, you're going to have within this, you're going to have documents, like I said, that you need to submit, okay? So you're going to need to, in this case, it sounds like if you're going to hire any subcontractors, know ahead of time. If you're going to do that for electrical work, always do it. For plumbing, you should, okay? Anything you're not familiar or comfortable with doing, make sure you hire professionals. That's why we have to be licensed. But if you're trying to save money, I get it. You're removing me from the equation, so to speak, and trying to run the project, this is how you're going to do it. So make sure you have that stuff valued, all right? Now, the next thing you're going to need to have, and again, do not do this by yourself, you're going to need to have a full construction set of plans, okay? Construction documents will be submitted with this paperwork to get the permit, okay? Whether it's a deck, addition, whatever it is, make sure you have an architect or a building designer do this work for you, especially in this day and age with extra IECC requirements. And you're going to go, what is that? Okay, links down here. You can read through that. That's part of what you have to administer with any remodel work or new construction. There is a protocol for energy code requirements that we now have to follow that have been upped. The ante has been upped. It's good and bad. I'm not going to go into that and deep dive down that rabbit hole right now, but you have to understand what needs to be within that plan set in order to get full permit approval. Okay? What does that look like? Well, you're going to have a full construction set, and again, an architect or building designer is going to know exactly what's required based on the project that you're doing so you can have this ready for permit. Do not bring in an 8x11 graph paper sketched out of what you want to do. They're not going to approve you. I'm telling you right now, those old days are gone. Make sure you have this set done by a building designer or architect. Pay the money, okay? It'll save you a lot of headache and time, trust me. So this is all going to be part of your submittal. So now you're going to have your application. You're going to have your full construction set of documents. You're going to have any IECC requirements and res check reports. Again, don't worry about that because that's someone else's job to do that and put that together for you. All right, now you have everything you need per your requirements here to submit. All right, now you have received your permits and you have paid for them and it's time to start the work. What do you do now? Pretty simple, right? You just start the work. No. Here's the thing. Now you have to understand what you're doing with the project. You have to understand how to read a set of plans. And most importantly, and this is the last thing I want to tell you guys because I'm assuming you're figuring out as you go, and that's okay to learn. Again, if you have any questions during your project, I got plenty of videos up on this channel that will help you with hanging doors, installing trim, laying floors, setting tile, framing, insulation, all of those things. Even fire blocking and draft stopping is here on the channel for all the things that get confusing. If you need to reference that as you're going through your project, please do so. Again, leave your questions in the comments below. I will jump on them as fast as I can. All right, so when you're working, the one thing you have to have, and I'm telling you have to have it now because the codes are changing much quicker and because you have to understand how to read the blueprints and what it means, you need one of these. And on the other videos, you've heard me talk about that. That's your IRC book. That's the International Residential Code Book that explains all of the minimum code requirements for each section of any project. Mechanical, electrical, plumbing, framing, insulation, flooring, distances for toilets and cabinets, and everything that you need to know is in this book, okay? You can look it up from the back. There's indices. I have all this tagged because I always have to reference something, right? We got your indexes in the back where you can look up anything that you're trying to find and go to that section of the book. Make sure you have that. If you've got licensed subs doing some of that work, lean on them. Certainly make sure that you're not leaning too much or you sound stupid. Again, I know this isn't your job, but if you're referencing these books and you hire the right guys, they will help you get through that as well. You need to understand this is minimum code too, okay? These are the minimum requirements for any part of a project that you're doing, but you got to have one of these. Trust me. I have most of this up here now, but this is because I do it for a living. This code book will save you lots more headaches down the road, okay? So from there on out, it's blow and go. Ordering materials, scheduling timelines, scheduling around your subs if you hire them, whatever it is. That is the basic layout of how to get started with it at you as a DIY general contractor. If you feel like at some point during the project you're so stuck you can't handle it or you've run out of time, call someone like me. They will step in, but it's going to be probably a little bit more expensive at this point because you may have done stuff that may need to be removed. So I encourage people to learn this industry on some level. Work on your own home is fun, it's rewarding, but there's a lot of stuff that people don't think about ahead of just saying, I want to remodel my kitchen. It's not as simple as that. But if you use this and some of the other videos and you reference your building department, reach out to those people, they will help you as well. You can get it done, okay? And again, if you've got questions or comments, leave them below. That is how you get started as being a DIY general contractor on your own home. Make sure, one more time, call with questions to the building department. Okay, this is a telephone for those of you guys that don't know this. I know cell phones look different. Okay, that's it, guys. Hopefully that stuff makes sense and it helps you out to get started. I really appreciate everyone that continues to watch the videos and share the content. Again, please share it. If you did like this video or any of the other ones, hit that blue thumbs up. It's very, very important, especially with today's YouTube analytics that happens. If you want to get more information or you want to learn other things on home building, real estate, and entrepreneurship, make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Follow me on Instagram at Shane Bailey Builder. And until next time, guys, keep building.